Hello and welcome to the podcast. Every moment is sacred, where we interweave meditation and healing into everyday life. I am your host, Rain Elizabeth Stickney. Now, let us begin. Hey, Happy New Year! We just transitioned into 2023. Can you believe it? A new year already. Happy New Year. I hope everything is going well so far, and however things are going, I hope you have a marvelous year ahead. I am so happy and excited to introduce you to my dear friend, my hunka sister, my website designer, my colleague, this wonderful soul, Abby Kojola. She is a friend to all, and I'm very happy and honored to be one of her friends. She is one of my best and most dear friends. I mentioned that she is my hunka sister, and what that means is in the tradition of Medicine Path Native American Church, we adopted each other as sisters forever and ever, backwards and forwards in time. And I am so lucky to have such a sweet soul with me in this world, and I get to be with her. So here we are in this episode having a meditation journey together, and we go through different important topics like self-kindness and internal locus of control and having the permission to honor oneself. So take a good listen and enjoy this meditation journey that we have for you. A little bit more about Abby. She is a website designer. That is her business and vocation at this time in her life, and a gift that she gives to the world. You can find out all about her services at kojolapower.com. She can also be found on Facebook, Abby Kojola, Abby Kojola, and she writes the most beautiful passages about real life transformation that she experiences through this human journey. Her words are vulnerable and resonant and so meaningful for all of us who find it valuable to have a real life, meaning, of course, we all have a real life, but to be honest about the real life we're having is very unique and heartwarming. So she's with us in this journey of human being, and she writes about it so beautifully. Some of those passages she shares on Facebook. She's also on Instagram in two different ways. She is there, powerful_heart_, which is her personal Instagram account. And she has this other really fun, lovely offering, which is haiku hike. And what she does is she goes on these nature walks and then she writes about them in haiku form. So brief, short, poetic passages with images of the hike that she is on or just went on or went on recently. And let me tell you, Abby is one of the most talented, beautiful, amazing beings. We met 22 years ago as of this recording, but with every day we've known each other longer and longer. So in the year 2000, we met in the admissions office at the California Institute of Integral Studies, and we both had skipped out on the beginning of the year retreat for different reasons. We didn't know each other yet. And there we were in the admissions office finishing up some paperwork or whatnot. And I think we both thought we were the only ones who didn't go to the retreat, but yet there we were as a pair, rebels as always. And so we met exploring the arts, and she is a true artist in every meaning of the word. I am so touched to be able to look up to her, to know her, to see her artistry through and through. I really can't say enough good things about her. There are so many wonderful, wonderful things to share about Abby Kojola, but you will hear for yourself. A couple of things to keep in mind for this meditation journey. We recorded this live on Instagram through Zoom, so there may be some mentionings that you can tell were on social media. This conversation has been edited, so how it turns out, you might hear some remnants of being live on Instagram. And also, you might hear that I mention still water meditation. That is my meditation group offering, both online and in person. So we currently meet Mondays and Thursdays online. You can find out about that on my website, rainelizabeth.org. Then click on the tab that says Stillwater Meditation. And if you're in Vermont, you can come see me on Saturday mornings at the Charlotte Public Library. And it's so wonderful to meet there in person. That class is for free. The online offerings do come with a fee. However, if you use the coupon code FIRST, FIRST, then you will get in for free your first time. So come. I would love to meet you. I would love to meditate with you. Now, without further ado, thank you so much for being here. Here is Abby Kojola.
We're here to talk about meditation today. My name is Rain, and Abby Kojola is joining me.
Hi.
Oh, Abby, I'm so glad to be here with you.
Me too.
I can feel your healing powers all the way from California to Vermont. So, Abby, we're here to talk about meditation and your personal meditation journey, and we get to co-create a meditation today. Let's start again with some gratitude. We shared gratitudes earlier when we started our call on Zoom, and in this moment, I'm still very grateful for you.
Thank you. Same.
I'm grateful for our friendship and our meditation journey so far over 22 years. And I'm grateful that we get to meditate together again today.
Yeah, I am so grateful in this moment for the fun we have. I always have so much fun with you, even when we don't know what we're doing or if it's going to work. I love just seeing what happens and being in the moment and just our creative energy and fun spirit. And I'm very excited to meditate with you. And I just was thinking back to like ourselves 22 years ago, and just like the fact that those women would never have believed that we'd be like meditating together on Instagram. So yay, you just never know what's gonna happen, Rain. Well, I was thinking about this when I woke up this morning, and I think that my like meditation is most present in my life as like a meditative state, And I think that as I've gotten older, realizing that that is like my way, and that's a very valid way to be in meditation, has been really helpful to me. Like when I first thought of meditation, I thought you always had to be sitting cross-legged with your, mudra and quiet. And, if it hurt, you just had to deal with it. And, you know, like there was just like this structure that I felt like I had to conform to. But I think what I've learned, through a lot of permission from you and from just learning about like how meditation is helpful for me in my life, it's the meditative state, like where I can be sitting in nature with my eyes open, breathing. I could be doing yoga. I could be lying down in my bed. Like I could be in so many places and just enter into a state where I remember you've used this term before, like there's this internal locus of control where I get to focus on myself and my inner world and give myself permission to let go of everything external and all of the other things that are happening that my mind is often attuned to pay attention to. And so, however that happens is really helpful. And anytime I can enter that state, it's like a meditative experience that is healing and helpful. And it doesn't have to look a specific way.
Mm.
And I'm not doing it wrong. I like
That
that.
is so beautiful and so true. And I love you bringing in the internal locus of control. That's very important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was thinking also this morning about like, you know, I don't know why this thought popped into my mind, but I went to this elementary school and there was this like really like strong focus on kindness. And we all like made these t-shirts that says, I am kind. And like it was just like, are you behaving in a kind way? But like I think that was missing for me. I don't know if it was missing for everybody, but I forgot to extend that kindness to myself. I was so
Oh,
concerned about being kind to everyone else, and I just forgot to include myself in the kindness. Like for years, I just didn't understand that I was included in that.
hmm.
And so I feel like meditation has helped me realize that not only am I included in that, like that's a priority. That's like the
Mm-hmm.
key to a happy life is to include yourself in the kindness and the love and the everything.
Yeah, essential. That
Yeah.
self-kindness is essential.
Hmm.
So how did meditation help with that shift that you went through? That's such a profound shift that you describe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it is a space that brings the focus inside, the focus on my breath, the focus on my internal experience. Yeah, and so I think, that helps me a
Mm-hmm.
lot, to realize that like I can have a time and a space to focus on myself and then to evaluate like, do I like how I'm focusing on myself? Could it be better? Am I being judgmental? Am I criticizing myself? Am I feeling less than? What could I feel differently? Like, is there anything I could do to feel better? Is there, like in yoga, they're like in yin yoga, they're always asking you, like, can you scan your body and find anywhere that you could relax a little bit more? Like, what could feel better?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's like that kind of inquiry and internal dialogue that is helpful to realize, oh, it feels really good to be kind to myself. And it's not selfish, because other people, when I see other people being kind to themselves, I'm so inspired.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that sometimes I worry, like, oh, I don't want to focus on myself too much because I don't want people to think I'm self centered or selfish. But
Mm-hmm.
that permission to honor yourself is always really powerful when I see other people doing that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And contagious in the best way.
Yeah, I want to be part of that contagiousness.
Right. Let's allow kindness to flood the world, as Pema Chödrön would say. Like, let's
Yeah.
embody kindness so much that that kindness shoots out everywhere, sparkles light, and touches everyone in a good way.
hmm And sometimes kindness looks like, you know, I need time to myself. I'm sorry, I can't do the thing that you need me to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Right.
I can't be at this, whatever thing that I'm supposed to be at because I just need to be with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And like unapologetically, I get like kind but unapologetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm not apologizing for tending to myself.
That's right. I know on my own personal journey, there's a deep yes to that internal no in order for me
hmm
to share the no with somebody else in a kind way. So I'm already accepting myself completely. And then the sharing of information is such an act of love because I'm really just sharing myself, what's true for me. What would you like to meditate on today?
I would like to meditate on being at peace in quiet moments. Like earlier this week, I had no emails in my inbox. I had no work that I needed to do. Nobody was calling me. Like I just had like 2 full days of nothingness.
Wow.
And partly it was amazing because I was like, oh my God, I'm so on top of my life. Nothing is hanging over my head. But
Amazing.
also, it was like lonely. I didn't have anything to distract me from my feelings. Like, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have like anything else to focus on other than just me and what am I going to do with my life. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
like there's a gift of space and time, and there's also like a fear of space and time for me. And so um, I would like to grow into a person that is like so embracing of space and time because
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of people that I know don't have enough space and time for themselves. And it's almost like I feel like an outlier in my community that I have like extensive amounts of time to myself where I can do whatever I want. But I'm like, how do I do that? What should I do?
We'll meditate on it.
Yeah,
Well, I'm jealous
yeah,
of you. I would love that
I
space
know.
and time.
So
But
many
I
people
know that
jealous.
the way that it works is that whatever we have, it's easy to overlook that
Yeah.
gift to want the other thing. And
hmm
so I get that. I love my busy life. I would also like the space and time that you describe.
Right?
And I
And
hear
it's
you
not
about wanting to be at
always.
peace. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I want to like embrace it and not in a like productive, like honoring productivity or being a slave to productivity in a way of like, how can I make the most of this? But just like, how can I be in the most peaceful way with this experience and honor myself the most?
Hmm. Yeah. So here comes a quiet moment. And how do I rest in peace in this quiet
Mhm.
moment?
Yeah.
And then I also heard you describing growing into that person who embraces time and space, who's just
Yes.
welcoming of it and ready for it and relishing in time and space as it presents itself.
hmm
We're about to slip into meditation together. So there's going to be a little bit of quiet, and then there'll be some guidance, and a little bit of quiet and some more connection. So everybody who's here is welcome to meditate as well. So, Abby, is there anything more that would be helpful or interesting, or that people who are here that can chat in? If there's something that you would like in meditation today, I'm going to take us through a gentle guidance so you can chime in with something that would be helpful or interesting.
Yeah, I guess the other thing that comes to me is just finding, discovering, exploring more and more ways to be my authentic self in the world and with everybody, to be that same authentic self with everybody. Because I feel like with you and I feel like I can always be my authentic self because I feel really safe with you. And there's so many, really, not so many, but there are relationships in my life where I struggle to bring all of myself and be authentic because maybe I don't feel as invited or as safe, or I don't know why, but I would like to be always bringing that authenticity for myself.
Mhm. I'm so glad that we get to be authentic with each other. I'm glad that you feel that safety with me. And yes, when we fill ourselves up with authenticity, it's another one of those wonderful qualities that just overflows. And then it becomes, if we're lucky, it becomes easier and easier with everyone we're with, because then who else are we going to be? How are we even going to be someone else? How is that even going to happen?
I don't know.
Either we're going to enjoy being ourselves or it's going to be a different experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have being at peace in the quiet, embracing time and space, and authentic self. So I am just breathing in my own space here, and I welcome everyone to do the same. Allowing shoulders to relax. Allowing energy to settle. We're just settling in slowly, slowly into silence together. As we get quieter and quieter, notice your own personal relationship to peace. As energy settles, notice your own presence with quiet. How is it for you in the quiet? Is the quiet peaceful for you? What quality does the quiet carry? Whatever quality of presence you're aware of in the quiet, see if you can be at peace with it. This is a practice of being at peace with your own experience, whatever that experience is. Welcome peace with the quiet. In the presence of quiet, notice if you can locate or embody, or in your own way, become aware of your true, authentic self. What awareness do you have of the true you? Who you truly are gets embodied into time and space, into space and time, and all the realms until this amazing physical form appears. Who you truly are gets embodied into this body that has a name, this body that does things in the world, this body that meditates. Who you truly are is authentic and real, and for this time on earth, embodied. Again, notice the quiet. Notice the quiet and your relationship to it. What quality does the quiet carry? Quiet can carry sound. What else does quiet carry for you?
Become aware of your true self, however you define that authenticity. Become aware of you. Thich Nhat Hanh is known to say that the sound of a bell ringing can bring one back to one's true self. So if you can hear those bells, use it as a reminder to come home to the quiet of you. As you feel ready, notice your body. Notice your mind. Breathe in and out and notice your heart. And notice your spirit, however you understand spirit to be. Notice spirit. And as you feel ready, gently open your eyes or raise your gaze. Welcome the shapes and colors that you see. How was that for you? How are you right now?
Well, I had a chance to remain focused on myself while there was something else that was trying to get my attention. And there was some stress about that I had. But then, and I considered, well, should I answer my door? And so it's just interesting to I set this intention, I asked for help, like kind of maintaining, uh, you know, my authenticity. And I got to notice like how when there's a situation that needs my attention or somebody that's like trying to contact me, like how easily I get like panicked to respond right away or help right away or turn my attention from what I'm doing to something that needs my attention. So just choosing to keep doing what I'm doing and let that other situation um, be there without my attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a good challenge.
Well, it sounds so much like that self-love and that self-kindness that we were talking about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
about
being with the internal locus of control, being present with oneself first. Well, I'm really grateful for the bells. They were actually so beautiful to me. I love that you chose to be present with yourself and have that internal experience. And I have a very fond relationship with the sound of a chime.
Me too. I like that that's my doorbell sound. I used to have a terrible doorbell sound. Like when people would ring it, I would feel like shocked and scared, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I fixed that situation.
Good job. Perfect timing.
Mhm.
And was there anything not helpful or anything challenging about the meditation?
Well, I mean, it's an added layer of experience to be like projecting this, onto social media and to be aware that I'm like being videoed with my eyes closed, breathing. Um, just to have somebody potentially watching you while you're meditating is not, it's not completely or even vaguely the same as
Mm-hmm.
meditating on your own.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because
There's,
it's that like, well, what are people seeing? What are they thinking about me? And are they even paying attention? Do I want that? Do I not? It's this whole conversation that we're in often.
yeah, I think it's so good to call that out because there is a unique experience of meditating alone. And then there's a shared experience of meditating in a group of people if we're all in the same room together, real time,
Mhm.
bodies in the same room together. And then there's an online meditation that's private, like how I run Stillwater Meditation, where people join a Zoom group and we're all there, but it's just us. We know exactly who's there because we can see our names or our faces.
Mhm.
And then we have social media. This is a brand new thing for me and for you and me together. And right, like who's going to see it? Who's seeing it right now? Whose eyes are closed? Who's doing something else? We don't know. It's a great mystery and very different, its own experience.
Yeah, and like I'm here for it, and it's just different.
Yeah.
So acknowledging that.
Mhm. Thank you. And for me, this is my first time with this particular setup. I have my computer, we're on Zoom, I have my phone, we're on Instagram, I have a microphone that I think is picking up my voice. I'm not sure. And I'm actually not very comfortable. So this is needing to be perfected. So I was shifting around in my seat a bit, which I don't usually do during meditation. But it's also a great reminder that that's fine.
Hmm.
When anybody is meditating, I like to teach the practice of attuning to oneself. What does any one person need in a moment? So for me, what do I need right now? My body needs to shift. Okay, I've shifted like 50 times. I guess I'm going to shift again.
Hmm.
But that's okay. It's part of it. It's part of the self relationship, the self inquiry, the presence during a practice of meditation.
Yeah, I think that's really true. And just it's always been powerful for me that allowing myself to do what I need to do to be comfortable. And sometimes that's like going against this idea of like, well, you should be able to sit for 20, 30 minutes in this without moving. And if your body falls asleep, you just have to push through it. It's like, whose voice is that? And that reminds me of like before the my doorbell rang, I was having an experience of just like when I think about peace and I think about, being peaceful within myself, the thing that immediately arises is um, other voices of how I should be.
Oh,
Like, and even like, are you sitting up straight? Are you like, if you're at peace right now, like you're not doing anything productive. It's like, and these are voices from, I think, like our culture and our society, and even voices that like of like teachers or parents in moments of stress, or it's just like there's all of these voices that I've internalized. And like when I come to this place of peace, those voices arise and I have to like just be like, no thank you. No thank you.
mm-hmm.
Just to like get to like my own, like this is me before all this other stuff like filled me up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I was able to get to that place by meditating, on Instagram and Zoom, and was really
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah, amazing. Well, amazing because our presence transmits even through technology.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
possible to meditate even with technology around, which
Yeah.
I think you and I were joking about before. If we flash back to when we met 22 years ago at the California Institute of Integral Studies, studying expressive arts therapy, would we have believed that we would be surrounded by technology, meditating online for anyone who wants to see to check in and take a peek?
No.
So, Abby, I'm wondering as we start to wrap up, has there been a favorite healing or meditative moment today in this little session that we're having together? Anything that stands out that's resonant to you, that's meaningful?
Mm. Well, the first thing that occurs to me is just that I feel like I really have been my authentic self, and I feel proud about that, and that feels healing. Because there is, a certain amount of anxiety when something's live, and what if I mess up or say something weird or call
Mhm.
someone the wrong name? The first person that joined is Frida, not Trisha, and I've made that
Oh,
mistake before, so I'm
oh,
so
hi,
sorry,
Frida.
Frida. The
Welcome,
wires are
Frida.
crossed in my brain, and I was like, it's hard to let that go. So I was like,
Mm.
oh my God, you did it again. So, yeah, just, allowing for mistakes and being authentic, I think is very healing always. And yeah, and then I think it's a really, it feels revolutionary to me to not to ignore some, like the person that needs my attention in uh because I'm doing something that's healing for myself, because it feels like sometimes it's the first thing I'm willing to stop is something that I'm doing for myself.
Mm.
Easy, no problem, I'll just stop that right now and do whatever you need.
Mm.
So it feels revolutionary to be like, yes, there's some construction workers in my yard that need my attention for stuff
Oh,
they're doing for my fence, or they need money or whatever they need. Like they really need it. And I'm just like, well, they can wait because I'm doing this.
oh, I love that you chose yourself. And I didn't make that connection that it was the construction workers, but now I understand. Of
Yeah,
course, they're like, hello,
yeah.
hello.
And
Yeah.
they need me to contact my neighbor to let them in her yard so they can do something. So
Hmm. Hmm.
I do need to attend to it,
Okay.
but
Well, we will
I think
finish
I have to
up.
stop in the moment, drop everything, and run to the door.
I'm celebrating with you that you chose yourself.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Because I think that feeling of needing to constantly be available for whatever people might need from us is exhausting.
Mhm.
And I know that there's instances like being a parent or, like people like there's instances where you don't get a choice.
Mhm.
But when you do have a choice,
Mhm.
I think it's okay to make people wait.
You are
Or
so
give them a
worth.
choice to wait. They don't have to
Yeah, they
wait.
get to make their own choice. So true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you are so worth your own attention.
Truth.
Truth. Yeah, we all are. We're all so worth our own divine attention. Thank you so much for listening. It has been a great joy to have your presence here in this podcast. I welcome you to celebrate the joy and wisdom in your life exactly as it is. And I welcome you to feel loved, fully loved, exactly as you are. www.rainelizabeth.org